Yes, I know it's Easter, and yes, I'm doing a video blog. So today's topic is graffiti, and graffiti really has an interesting place in my mind because it only exists illicitly. If it's not illegal, it's not graffiti. And that's something that intrigues me about that art form. That is what makes it graffiti. There's a particularly famous graffitist called Banksy. I don't know. The idea of being a famous graffitiist is a little weird too, and I'll talk about that in a sec. But they put his work in a gallery. Like he had a museum showing, a gallery showing. And then you get, I say that's not graffiti anymore. That's art, that's painting. Graffiti is art too, I'll give you that. That's painting for a gallery. There's something inherently interesting about someone putting on a hoodie in the middle of the night and going and spray painting on a building. And that is graffiti. That being said, I'm a huge believer in the right of private property. And graffiti is illegal, and should be, because you're infringing on somebody else's private property. And that's bad. So I can't encourage graffiti necessarily, and I can't even say that I like it, but it intrigues me that it exists only in this illicit nature where if we were to make graffiti legal, it would no longer be graffiti. People have done that, actually. I remember a thing in maybe New York, maybe LA, big metropolitan area, where someone bought a private building and said, graffiti it up. Which, again, isn't graffiti because you're allowed to do it. That illicit nature, that illegal nature is part of what makes graffiti graffiti. I'm not a graffiti artist because I don't want to screw up other people's property because it's illegal and because it's wrong. But I'm really interested in graffiti artists. Now let's talk some specifics. I like good graffiti, and I have criteria for good graffiti since you asked. First of all, I want it to be creative. I prefer creative work. Make it something new, something interesting, something different, which unfortunately most of the graffiti I've seen in my life isn't. Most of the graffiti I've seen is a tag, aka, a goofy version of a fake name that you have taken upon yourself, which takes all of 6 seconds to write and kind of removes some of that danger of it. If it only takes this much time, then you're not really putting that much effort into it. Alright, we're going to do something a little bit interactive here. Go get a pencil and something to write on. I'll wait. Now, take something to write on and the pencil and write your name. See how long it takes. I bet you finished writing it before I finished this sentence. That's what tagging your name means. That's what you're putting a tag on something. It takes that much time. It can be done anywhere, anytime. It's easy, and that's cool, but it doesn't take any effort. And I like a little bit of effort in my art. The step kind of that I see is above that I kind of like but still have trouble with is like stencilers, where they do all the work ahead of time. They get, a big piece of cardboard or Bristol board or some sort of heavy paper and cut out stuff and then spray paint a stencil on it, which again takes about as much time as signing your name. Yes, it's more visually interesting to look at, but again, it didn't take a lot of nature, and it kind of sidelines that illicit nature of graffiti that really interests me. So I prefer like the freehand work or the really interesting work that takes a long period of time to do, that takes effort, that is powerful. Ooh, just thought of this. Go see if you can find the video. I don't know if it's called dirt graffiti or cleaning graffiti, something like that. It's really an interesting use of graffiti. Maybe I'll link to it if I can. In the video, this guy using like a towel cleans a very dirty wall inside of a tunnel, but he does it stylistically with a bunch of skulls and things. And because of that, the city, because it was graffiti, I guess, again stretching the boundaries, but it was visually something that was done illicitly, had to wash the wall. So Banksy, I'm probably screwing that name up, but I don't care, because I don't care that there's a famous graffiti artist. That says to me that you're doing something a little wrong, and nobody knows who he is or she. We don't know if he is or he or is she, but that doesn't work for me because it's weird. It's a hidden person. He's had a gallery show. This removes the secretive nature of it. Another fun part of graffiti is that nobody knows who does it unless you know the person who did it. I knew a tagger once. Her name was Bug. That was her tag, obviously. And she was a stenciler, and I would hang out, and she would spend lots of time working on it. And that really bothered me, the stenciling aspect, which I kind of already talked about. So again, I can't condone graffiti. I respect property too much to say, no, go ahead, do that. But it's interesting to me that it exists only in this illegal space. It can only exist in this illegal space. Alright, roll credits.